The Prime Minister has carefully avoided calling China's Xi Jinping a dictator at the APEC summit as he teases further progress on lifting trade restrictions. Let's go live to senior political reporter Trudy McIntosh in San Francisco. Trudy, what's the latest?
Well, Tim, all eyes at this summit have been on the US President Joe Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping. That has been the main game here. It's overshadowed much of the tangible work that's being done at the APEC summit. Our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, in essence a bystander to this high-stakes diplomacy with our biggest trading partner and our security ally. Interesting to see that the Prime Minister did not want to echo the words of the US President Joe Biden in calling Xi Jinping a dictator. Incredibly careful in his language. The PM did this as well in the last few weeks when President Biden said he couldn't really trust Xi Jinping. Anthony Albanese also didn't want to repeat those words when he was asked in Beijing. So you can see why they're trying to tread very carefully in terms of the language and not unnecessarily inflaming tensions. This is the PM's answer.
Well, we have different political systems from China, as I've said consistently. Australia's a democracy. China has a very different political system. They don't have democratic elections.
The Prime Minister very conscious that he is in the middle of trying to stabilise this relationship with Beijing. He also teased yesterday when asked that there could be more announcements to come from China when it comes to lifting those final trade restrictions. He had a pull-aside meeting without any cameras there yesterday with President Xi, and he was asked whether we will see any progress finally on actually lifting those wine tariffs or whether there could be movement when it comes to meat and lobster. He said he'd leave that up to the Chinese to make their announcements. So some hope there. The Prime Minister, it's the final day here at APEC in San Francisco. He's got two bilateral meetings this morning. He's met with the President of Vietnam, and he's also just wrapped up a meeting with Japan's Prime Minister Kishida, obviously one of the Quad partners, a close ally of Australia, so an opportunity to catch up there once again. Anthony Albanese will also be speaking at the Leaders Retreat later today alongside Joe Biden. There he's going to be speaking about streamlining the World Trade Organization processes. We took the dispute when it came to barley and wine to the WTO. It's a very lengthy process. In the end, we didn't actually get a resolution there, so Australia would like to see those processes updated. But from there, we head to the airport. Timmy, he's been here for just over 2 days. It's been the fourth overseas trip in the space of a month. The PM clearly a little rankled by the fact that he had to come here. It's Australian diplomatic tradition. He's copped a lot of flack at home from the opposition for being away once again.
Yep. He certainly covered more ground than the early explorers, little doubt of that. Just quickly, Joe Biden and Xi Jinping, they have met. What's the general overview? What's the feel about how that all went?
Well, from the US perspective, Tim, they were happy that this dialogue in fact took place, that it wasn't derailed suddenly at the last minute. We've seen that in the last 12 months. When that Chinese spy balloon came over America earlier in the year, that completely derailed any sort of discussion at the high levels. And so from the US, they are happy to see those military-to-military communications channels reopened. Australia's certainly happy for that too. That's designed to prevent miscommunication in case we do see some sort of incident in our region. But look, as the US President said, Tim, trust but verify. You've got to ensure that China actually follows through on these things. It's important they're talking, but whether we actually see concrete action to lower the temperature in our region, we'll have to watch and wait.
Yeah, we'll have to watch with interest. Thanks so much for that, Trudy. Appreciate it.